everybody, this is Elissa from Mank Arts and Crafts, and today we are going to be doing a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for work in progress, and chat, of course, is chat. So I will be working on my WIP and we will be chatting. So that's essentially what it's going to be. And I just finished I didn't really have any large ones that I'm doing right now. I'm kind of working on some smaller ones since I'm working on my flower delivery canvas. And since I'm doing both flower delivery canvases. And since I'm working on those, I'm like, I'm kind of in the mood to do some smaller ones. And I wanted to work on my rainbow poop emoji, kind of kit up the rainbow poop emoji and work on that one. But I was like, rather than doing that, I really want to kind of continue working on my Around the World 1.0 paint gem sets. And I kind of have set a goal for myself, basically, that I need to finish one of these paint gem sets every single month, like one of these kits from Paint Gem every single month. And I'm kind of behind the curve because I haven't been working on my paint gems this month because I've been working on other things like the flower delivery set. So I was like, I need to work on these. So you see a little bit of a different setup here because it would be kind of hard to set it up to work on something this small. Like you can see, these are small. Like there's my hand. This is the size. So I didn't want to work on this on my normal setup. So I have the little tiny Paint Gem light pad. Because I have a hard time working on anything without a light pad. It's just my eyes don't like it. They prefer to use the light pad. So I have the Paint Gem light pad, which the edges of the light pad are very, very bright. So I put some washi tape around the edges just to dim some of that brightness of the overly bright edges of the light pad. And that's helped significantly. This is one of the light pads where I will move it up so you can see the top where it connects with the USB right here, which is not something that I like. So I try to avoid moving and bumping it in that sense. But we are going to kind of get to work. So today, like I said, I'm working on the Around the World 1.0. I just finished the these are the other two that I've worked on here. So this is Santorini, and I literally just finished this one maybe 10 minutes ago. So Christ the Redeemer, Brazil, for that one there. And now I am going to be working on this beautiful one there, which is going to be the Netherlands. So this is what you've got, the lovely windmills that I'm going to be working on, and you'll see my method of how I work, which is going to be turning this around in all different angles depending on how I want to work. So I'll probably actually start working on it like that to get that lined up really well as I work. And I'll probably use a combination of this one. This one's got the 10 placer on it. I'll have to see. I don't know how old that putty is right now. So we'll have to see. So this is from Bree over at Painting with Pitties. This is one of her pens that she's going to be coming out with soon. This was kind of one of her early prototypes. It looks weird right here because I actually hold my multi-placers in my pens with putty. So that's actually how I hold my multi-placers in. I know it's kind of weird, but I found that works well for me because then it's easy. It's just firm enough, and then I can pull them out as needed. But isn't that a cute pen? And I don't do a lot of single placing when I'm doing my paint gem, so I just left the single placer that she had in there because I'm like, yeah, that'll work fine for this, and I can use this. This will work fine for paint gems. This is kind of like my paint gem pen, but then if I want to, and if I get tired, because this is a little bit thinner than what I'm used to, so then if I want to, I'll switch it up and I'll use one of my Enabler Outpost pens. This one I am totally in love with, which has an 8 placer on it, and then one of my Everlasting Tips. So that's one there. This is usually the tray that I use with my paint gems. This is one of the Bella Arte Nicole 3.2. Is it 3.1 or 3.2? I don't remember which, but it's one of the Bella Arte Nicole trays. I usually don't put the stopper in when I'm working with paint gems because I'm changing the drills so much, and I hate changing drills. And of course I'm using my Elizabeth board trays when I'm working on a kit like a paint gem at home, and I've got it I'll actually kit it up into the Elizabeth Ward containers, and I'll leave it like kitted up for that time and sitting with like another small kit that I'll have going in one of the trays. So I'll have a paint gem kitted up, and then I'll have another kit on the other half of the Elizabeth Ward containers. And then I'm also, today I decided to work with watermelon lemonade is the flavor that I'm working with for my Mary Mud. So those are the tools that I'm using today, and this is the setup we're going to use. It's a little bit different than my normal setup. I'm over on my my other desk, not my normal diamond painting desk. It's technically my Chinese brush painting desk, which is the desk that I use for filming purposes as well, because it's my flat desk. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to start off with a little bit about, well, let's see, what am I going to start with? And with the way that I'm working, I can't actually wear my bracelet with the way I'm working, which is why I don't wear a watch on my right arm, because it gets in the way when I'm using my right arm down. So on this flat surface, I can't actually wear my bracelet. I can when I'm on an incline, but I can't on the flat surface. So you guys will see a little bit of more of this method to my madness here. All right, we will work on these. Usually, because this is like the part that I like to start with, like the top edge when I'm doing these, to make sure I kind of get a nice straight line. No, okay, interloper. But I like to make sure I have that nice straight line set down. Nope, and see right there. Didn't get that part straight. Come on, I was doing so well too. Anyways, so we'll go on a little bit of like my diamond painting progress. So what was I working on last week? Oh, I was working on the double-sided adhesive of the Great Wave Hokusai, Great Wave of Kanagawa by Hokusai. I did finish that one, which that was a beautiful, beautiful canvas. I loved it. Well, I didn't love working on a double-sided adhesive because you can't slide drills on a double-sided adhesive, and I like being able to like slide my drills around if I don't place them perfectly, because I'm not a perfect placer. And I don't do this to place perfectly. I purposefully don't place perfectly. I'm all about like, hey, let me just pop them down and go. So I did finish the Great Wave off Kanagawa, which I finally, as I post some of my progress photos on Instagram, you'll see I kind of got sick of the way of like actually sectioning it in real sections. And I was like, you know what? This kind of goes with this kind of color palette of these drills. We're gonna just go ahead and kind of follow, and I just kind of sliced the release paper into like a random shape, and then worked that shape. And then I moved up and did the same thing as I did like the second half of the painting. I'm like, I can't cut this into squares. My brain just does not like cutting this into squares to work in squares. It just, I could not do it anymore. Like, you guys, like, I don't do it. And that's something that's been really challenging for me to do as I've been working on flower delivery. I'm like, but it would be so easy to just follow this color into that next section. Just lift up that plastic and just continue this color into the next section before I put it away and grab the next color. But that's not like what I'm working on, how I'm doing my comparison project. So I can't do that because I'm timing like how long it takes me to do each section. So I can't do that. I may actually put this here since I'm working on this one color. Yep, that did do that. So that way you don't keep sticking my keep sticking my finger on that adhesive quite like that. I'm gonna reshape my drills. So that was really challenging to do, was to actually do that double-sided adhesive of the Great Wave, because I couldn't do it in I couldn't work in my normal flow. And flower delivery is the same thing. I'm not working in like my normal pattern because I can't like chase my color all along that whole section of the canvas. I have to follow I have to work in that one section. And it does help that the sections are large, so it's kind of like I can think of it as, oh, this is just working like that whole, but it's like, oh, it could be like, you can try to trick your mind into being like, oh, it's an actual section that I'm working, or like its own little mini painting, and it doesn't work. My brain is like, yeah, but you're not working an actual painting, you're working a section, but the section's large. Yeah, my brain is like, but it's still a section, and I hate sections. So that's been kind of challenging, working in sections for this project, because I'm not a sectioning person. I do not do sections. Like, I do not do sections. My brain just doesn't like sectioning a canvas. It just really doesn't comprehend that process very well. But I do have to say, I am enjoying it, working on those two canvases and doing the comparison project. I think it's fascinating seeing the differences in the version 1 and the version 2, and how vastly different. I wasn't expecting them to be so different between the version 1 and version 2. So it's really interesting. Like, it was really good seeing those differences. And I'm enjoying that. I think it's making for a really great, like, comparison project. So my goal is to continue trying to do, like, the section a week. If I can do more than a section a week, I'll do more than a section a week. But it may only be, like, the one section a week, which means that this is going to be, like, a long-term project. Unless I decide to, like, pick it up and go a little faster. But I don't want to, like, neglect some of my other projects. And it's been taking me roughly, like, 3.5 hours for the first, or for the version 1, and 4.5 hours for the version 2 to do each section so far. I've only done 2 sections on each canvas. So, like, if I did that, I could easily sit and finish that in, like, if I did nothing else and sat down and that was, like, my entire evening, I could do one of them in an evening, and that would be, like, my evening. But that would, like, literally be my evening. And then the next night I could do it as well. But, I mean, that would literally be my evening. And I haven't done that. But so I could do that during the week, and then I could get multiple sections done. But I like being able to, you know, mix it up and work on other stuff as well, and not have that be the only thing that I do. So I could work and do more than the 2 sections, or more than just, like, the 1 section in a week. But I haven't. So far, I've kind of stuck to that, because, again, I'm doing other kits too. But I did finish my Great Wave, which was my other Summer with a Masters canvas. And then I want to finish before the end of the month, i.e., you know, this weekend. And I think this is the 29th. Tomorrow is the 30th. So really, I've got... And this is July, so Monday. So I've got Sunday, Monday. So I'm filming this Saturday night, fairly late, because I was just being lazy and recovering, and I'll go into all of that. So this will go up on Sunday, so I'll have the rest of Sunday, and then I'll have into a little bit of overspray on that glue there. So I'll have into... Monday, all of Monday, Sunday and Monday I want to finish these. This is number 3, and then there's 3 more in the kit. So so I'll finish these between Sunday and Monday, and then I want to get started on Rainbow Poop Emoji. I don't know if I'm not going to finish that. Where is it? Okay, I'm good on the ones. And I'd like to get that one kitted up and worked on. So that will probably end up being a WIP going into the month. And then I'll need to kind of get going on kitting up some of the kits that I'm going to work on for August. Well, just the first one that I'm going to work on for August. I have to decide what my first one that I want to work on is going to be. Whether I want to start on a fun one or one of the canvases that I'm going to do for an event. I'll probably start with my Oz and Awe August event canvas, that one that I'm going to do, which I think I'm going to, so I kind of went through my stash of what I have, and I've decided on one that I'm going to do that kind of fits, because it's one that has, I think I'm going to do Talisman is one that I have, so it's kind of a girl, but she's got some poppy flowers around her and in her hair. So because of the poppies, I'm like, that'll fit the theme because, you know, poppies. And it's a really pretty image. So I think I'm going to do that one for Oz and Og because of the poppies. And then when I finish, I'm still waiting on my, we'll see if my Sailor Moon kit gets in time for August for Sailor Summer. And if that one gets in August, then I will work on that one. But if it doesn't get in, then I'll just work on other kits. I'm hopeful that it will come in time. And then I'll be able to have time to do it before the end of the month. So I'm hopeful. But if not, then I want to work on an Oraloa this month, the one that I unboxed earlier. The Miss Ocean, that one is beautiful, so I'd like to do that this month. I've got my flower deliveries that I'm working on, and then let me see, do I have anything else specifically that I've specified for, see, that looks a little dark. Let me brighten that up a little. There. Make it a little brighter for you guys since I'm working on this. Let's see. So that's kind of what I want to do for August. I've also decided that, well, I'm like, and then of course I fit with this one, and then I'll still have like I'll probably have the Around the World 2.0 as my paint gem that I'll work on, because I've decided I'm like, rather than trying to think of which paint gem am I going to do this month, I'm going to just go in the order of when they were put out by paint gem. So from their oldest kits to their newest kits, as far as the ones that I have. So next in order is the Around the World 2.0. So the next one, it would be the next Around the World kit, which I would have done anyways, because if I'm doing the 1.0, then I have to follow it up with the 2.0, just like with the national park. If I did the first national park, then I have to follow it up with the second national park. So that'll be the next one that I do after this one. So that's kind of like a sneak peek blather of like 17 minutes worth of blathering of what I plan on doing kit-wise. But so on my like diamond painting realm, I have decided, or well, not really decided, but I have realized that going on a low buy doesn't work for me, because a low buy turns into a buy everything, whereas a no buy kind of turns into a low buy for me. So August is going to be a no buy, which means if I buy something, it will be because I really, really, really absolutely have to have it, because July has turned into a buy everything month. And I have bought way too many kits. Like I've kept a tracker of literally every canvas and every kit that I have bought this entire month. And yeah, I have bought way too much this month. So I need to go on a no buy in August, because yeah, like even just looking at what I purchased today alone, I didn't buy anything from DAC today. From Diamond Art Club. No purchases from Diamond Art Club today, so that was good. I wanted the Chrysabug. I thought that image was beautiful. I love all of the Jeremiah Kettner images. Like, I love all of his art, but I'm like, you know what? I think I would rather have his images as prints than as diamond paintings. So his stuff, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep it like this. I prefer to do it like this. His stuff, if I really like something, I'll just order it as a print rather than as a diamond painting. I've got one of his as a diamond painting, and I think that'll be good enough. But that's kind of the decision I've made on his. But the Chrysabugs, like hers, that one, that was gorgeous and I want it. But I was like, no, I'm going to put that on wish list. But there's a new shop that just opened today, and it's Diamond Artisan Shop, and the images on her shop, oh my word, incredible. Love, 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 love. So if you guys have kind of like watched my videos for a little bit, you may have noticed that a little bit of a theme that I love anything Japanese or Asian. There's a little bit of a trend there. I've always loved I've always loved Asian cultures. I've always loved all of anything with that kind of theme to it. I mean, I've been a Chinese brush painter / I consider it more of an Asian brush painter because I do more than just straight Chinese brush painting, and there's more to it than just that. That's like one specific aspect of the style, but there's more to it than that. But I've been doing that basically since I had a couple year hiatus, but basically since like 2014. And I've lived in Japan, and I will gladly go back and live in Japan again. I was hoping, I love it. I've got tattoos that have Japanese influence to them. I have plans to get more tattoos. I have one. I haven't yet decided if I want to have it as an actual sleeve, or if I want to do it as a more of a leg sleeve or an arm sleeve. I haven't decided that part yet. I'm still debating, which is why I haven't gotten it yet, because it takes a lot before I get a tattoo, because you have to know exactly what you want and where you want it and all of that, because it's a permanent thing. So I contemplate the idea for a very long time before I get completely sold on exactly what I want and where I want it and how I want it. But there's so much to all of the Japanese and Asian culture and everything, so many of those different cultures that I love. Southeast Asia in general is my favorite region in the world to travel to. I love traveling within Southeast Asia. And I could keep going on and on and on. Well, the paintings, some of the kits that, so she had, Diamond Artisan Shop has some gorgeous kits that she just released, and I can't remember the owner's name off the top of my head, but she released some gorgeous kits. One of them, there was an unboxing for one of them, which is a beautiful rainbow roller skating one. I should have written down and logged them in my logbook already, but I haven't done that, because when I purchase a painting, I log it in my logbook, so then I have the tracking for it, but I haven't done that yet. If I had, I could look up the name of the kit in my logbook. Let me pull up the name on my iPad. I could do that part. Let me do that real quickly, because the iPad is sitting right here. Let me look it up. Diamond Artisan. That way I can tell you the actual name. Artisan Shop. So let me view all. Yeah, so it's Rollin' on a Groove by Julie Edwards. Amazingly beautiful canvas. It's this woman with this beautiful hair, and she's roller skating in a roller rink, and it's just rainbow exploding behind her in gorgeous colors and these orange slices. And if you go to Life with Lindsay's Facebook page, or not Facebook page, goodness, my words tonight, it's late, leave me alone. So if you go to her YouTube page, she has an unboxing for that kit, and I saw her unboxing video for it and her sneak peek video of it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that canvas. I want that kit. I love it. So I was like, I am going to check out the shop and kind of stalk them for their opening. And then they started releasing on Instagram. They started releasing, I started following them on Instagram, and then they started releasing, because their opening was today, which in your time, if you're watching this on Sunday, would have been yesterday, they started releasing like sneak peeks of the other kits that they're going to have on like their opening batch. And these are kits that are already in stock. You don't have to wait for them to ship. Well, you're going to have to wait for them to ship, but you're just going to have to wait for them to ship from her shop or from her location here in the States. You're not going to have to wait for them to ship from like China or anything like that. They're already with her for the ones that she has. Well, the other kits that she has, there's one of them that's it's by the same artist, Julie Edwards, and then the other 3 are by Alora Poutrat, which is I think it's like Oa Kitty is I can't remember exactly what her Instagram handle is, but they are incredible, and they are all like Japanese. Basically, they're like images and paintings that are like pure Japanese culture, but they are so adorable. And as soon as she like sneak peeked those on her Instagram page, I'm like, I have to have those kits. I have to have those kits. So I bought those kits. I bought those kits. Yes, I did. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted of the Japanese inspired ones, of like the 3 Japanese ones by the one artist, and then of course Rolling on a Groove, because that was the one that made me want to shop at the shop. So I ended up purchasing all 4 of them. Yeah, like I said, I am, yeah. So yeah, exactly, right. And then of course it's like, well, and then Oraloa sent me this thing saying that a kit that I've been waiting on to be restocked, actually 2 kits that I've been waiting on to be restocked for a couple months now, are finally back in stock. And go figure, you want to know what the 2 kits that I'm waiting on to get restocked from Oraloa that are now finally back in stock are? They're like, one of them is like a really cute one that's a bayonet with like this little unicorn that she's holding up, which is super cute. But the other 2, of course, have to be the 2 that are like I have been really, really waiting for, because they're both like, one of them is basically a woman with a kitsune mask, and she's taking her kitsune mask off, and another one is basically the dragon. Basically, it's like, essentially they're Japanese figures, essentially. It's very much, you look at them and you're like, oh yeah, that's totally Japanese. So of course I'm like, yeah, I need both of those. So yes. So of course I had to get the restocks from Oraloa as well. So yeah. So I am like most definitely 100% on a no buy, because yeah, I can't be purchasing anything else canvas wise. I'm done. No more. I done. I have enough. See if we can do this. I keep finding myself pulling this towards me, so hopefully I have not made it so that you guys can't see any of what I'm actually filming for this. But anyways, that's kind of like my diamond painting update of where I'm at and what I'm doing. So yeah, come August 1st, there will be like, it has to be something that is like, my jaw has dropped and I am like, I cannot live without this kit in order for me to purchase the kit, or it's a Yume art. Those are kind of like the qualifications for the kit in order for me to purchase. Everything else can go on a wish list kind of a thing, and can wait until eventually. I haven't decided how long I'm going to do this for. Definitely needs to be longer than a month. But we will see how long I decide to go for, because I need to make some progress on cutting through some stuff. And I think I'm going to do, like, I'm like, you know, I have so many of my small snack size kits that I need to work through, really, like, go through and make it a goal to go through these small snack size kits. And I'm like, you know, kind of thinking, I think I'm going to do a snack size, like a snack size September, or snacky, yeah, something to that effect. I'm going to make September, because I've got a lot of these that I'm going to do for September. I'm not really one for, like, the drills and chills, because I don't really do, like, themed for, like, holiday or, like, Halloween-y type kits or anything like that. I'll probably do, like, my pug kit, my Halloween pug kit. I'll do that one for drills and chills. And then I think I'm going to, like, start working through all of my snack sizes, because I got so many of those, and that'll cut down on my stash quite a bit, to work through a lot of those, and then kind of go from there. As much as I love having all my snacks, I need to, like, start knocking them out, going through, making progress on them, to kind of break down, like, wheedle down my stash, make progress on it. And then from there, yeah, kind of go from there. So work-wise, the reason I'm like, you know, it's fine that I've spent so much time talking on, you know, my diamond painting progress and all of that, is because I haven't really had too much from, like, work updates for you all, because I'm trying to think, where did I leave off last week? The weekends I don't do a whole lot. I don't know why I didn't go grocery shopping last week. There was a reason why I didn't go grocery shopping, and I don't remember what that reason was, but it felt valid at the time. I think that's always the justification. It always feels valid of why we don't do something at the time, but it felt valid why I didn't go grocery shopping. So I didn't go grocery shopping. So I didn't go grocery shopping last weekend, and didn't have any groceries. So come this week, I'm like, I need groceries. But guess what? I couldn't go grocery shopping during the week, not because I didn't have time. I had plenty of time. I could have gone any afternoon or evening after work, because the grocery store is like a mile from my house. So I could have gone grocery shopping, but I go grocery shopping on the weekend. Usually Saturdays, but sometimes Sundays. I go grocery shopping on the weekend. My brain was like, you can't go grocery shopping during the week. That's not how this works. So my brain was like, you can't go during the week. That's a Saturday, Sunday thing. Even though I had no groceries. I don't drink plain water, because plain water, especially when it's city water and blah, chemically and blah. I was raised on a farm. We drink raw water, which you can taste all the minerals in the water. So city water is gross. Even when I've filtered it and everything, it's still gross. And I don't drink bottled water, because I don't drink bottled water. It's bad for it's too many plastic bottles, and I try to avoid excess waste like that. So I'm like, my compromise is I usually drink orange juice in my water. And so I'll buy the orange juice, and I'll mix usually 7 parts water to 1 part orange juice, is kind of my ratio of what I do. Well, I've been out of orange juice basically since the tail end of last week. So I'm like, I need my orange juice. I do still have a little bit of milk, but I don't usually, it takes me a long time to go through my almond milk, but I'm out of, like, pretty much everything. And I'm like, I need to go grocery shopping. Like, my fridge is very, very empty. When you look inside my fridge, it's very empty. Like, empty to the point where I'm like, I need food. I need something. So I think I ended up, like, partway through the week, I was, like, desperate enough. So I ended up just ordering pizza for dinner. Because if I get a couple medium pizzas, that'll last me for, like, 4 or 5 plus days worth of food if I order a couple pizzas. So, Yeah, but I couldn't go grocery shopping because it wasn't the weekend. Even though, yeah, but that's how my brain works. It's like, well, why would you go grocery shopping? It's not the weekend. We can't go grocery shopping unless it's the weekend. I need to recharge this putty. Or not putty, the wax. There we go. All right. Wax is recharged. So I didn't go grocery shopping this week because I didn't do it this weekend. So I've been kind of like scrounging food, because I have very limited choices for food. I have a lot of food in my cupboard, but it requires cooking and I don't cook. And I get meals delivered like every other week, but this is like an off week, and I've actually done like 2 weeks off because I've had some of the extra ones in the freezer and I've been trying to go through those. So, and I've been trying to like be like, okay, I've got to make those last until Tuesday night is when the next box of meals gets delivered, and then I'll have them in my fridge, and then once they kind of they're usually good for a week. You have to eat them within a week, and if you don't eat them within a week, then you can put them in the freezer. So that's usually what I do, is if I don't finish them, because I get 8 delivered, so that usually if I don't finish them within a week, then I put them in my freezer, and I had been working my way through the ones that were in my freezer. And I usually only eat them for lunch, so I take those to work for lunch. Well, I was starting to get to like slim pickings for those as well. I think I have 1 left in my freezer, which means I'm actually going to have to eat lunch at the hospital on Tuesday, because I'll be at the hospital on Tuesday. Yes, I'm actually going to have to eat lunch at the hospital on Tuesday instead of being able to bring my lunch, which will be like, oh man. I don't like having to eat hospital food, which it's like we have the galley downstairs, so that's what we call it in the Navy. We call it the galley. So basically the cafeteria, I guess, is what regular people call it. But we call it the galley. I don't like placing from the right, I like placing from the left. But yeah, and so I did not go grocery shopping, even though I should have, but I didn't because, yeah, it wasn't the weekend, so I couldn't. Well, I could have. My brain wouldn't let me because it wasn't the weekend, and I go grocery shopping on the weekend, and that's how my brain works. I couldn't do a weekend thing during the week. Yeah, I stayed late a couple times this week doing work stuff. Had a few late days, getting things done, writing some documents for work, a lot of fun meetings for work. Oh yay, meetings, woohoo, gotta love meetings, woohoo. And submitting a package for an extra, what we call collateral duty, so basically an extra job that I would do at work in addition to my own job. So I'll have an interview for that position this coming week. So we'll see how that goes, to take over from position for person who's going to be leaving in a few months. Just a couple months, she'll be leaving. So I need to kind of like, so we'll see how that turns out when I do that interview. And then saw patients, saw some more patients. We rolled out a new program at work in my clinic, which has been going well. So that's been good. And then I had 24-hour duty on Friday, which is why you get this late, because that's where I show up at work at basically 6:30 on Friday, and I don't get to leave until usually around 7 o'clock the next day. So I was there from 6:30 on Friday until about 7:15 today. I don't know why I put that many drills in here. I don't need that many. It's about 7:15 today is when I finished and was able to turn over and come home. So, and that's when you do that, even if not a lot happens, a lot can happen, and sometimes a lot happens, and sometimes not a lot happens. It just depends on the day. But regardless, you don't get a lot of sleep, because as I've mentioned before, I'm sleeping in my office on my treatment table. So just a physical therapy table with like a camping mat thrown on top of it for some extra padding, and then a sleeping bag on top of that. So I was just sleeping on that today or last night, and then you're always waiting for the phone to ring for something to just in case something has gone wrong. And it's been really hot. It's been like really hot out here. We've been having lots of heat casualties out here because it's been so hot. So it's been, yeah, the ER has been very busy with all the heat casualties. So yeah, it's been busy. So, I was like, I could have filmed my WIP and chat earlier and then worked and gotten it posted, but I was like, you know what? I just need to rest. Take a little bit of time, rest. I really didn't do much like that was interesting this week for you guys. No, I didn't do anything interesting. Talked to my family, talked to my brother this week because he's been traveling for work, so I hadn't been able to talk to him. So I did finally get to talk to him this week. I did finally get to talk to him partway through the week, which was good because I hadn't been able to talk to him for a while. So that was good. So I've gotten to talk to him a couple times this week, so I was super excited about that. Because I only have my one brother and we're pretty close, so we normally talk when he's not traveling. We normally talk a couple times a week at least. So he was back in town and not traveling. So, well, back in town where he lives, which is definitely not where I live. So we were able to talk. So that was good. Chatted with him. And Mochi, oh yeah, I got home today. You would not believe this little stinker. Both of my girls were being stinkers today. Well, they weren't really being stinkers today. So I got home this morning and they were both so mad at me for being gone for 24 hours that, so it's really funny because when I'm gone like that for a 24-hour period, my dog refuses to eat and my cat eats all the things. So, like, whenever I go on and travel, hold on, I gotta blow my nose. So whenever I travel or go on a trip or do anything, even if I'm gone, like, with this, being gone for, like, a 24-hour duty or something, Mochi pigs out and eats all of her food. So normally her hard food lasts her, like, I give her her quarter cup of hard food, and that lasts her for a full 24 hours. Like, I give her scoop of hard food. That's her breakfast and her dinner. And then she gets her scoop of canned food in the morning only because she's a pig. She doesn't need more than that. She needs to keep her little girlish figure because I don't need a little fat, overweight cat. And, like, normally she's still got hard food left. That evening at dinner time, she still got like most of her food left, and then in the morning she still got hard food left, but I'll kind of like top it off. Well, whenever I have a 24-hour duty like this, a certain little mini pig, I call her Mini Pig because Mylan's nickname is Pig. So the mini piglet of the Mochlet will pig out, and she will basically have her, like, she will have all of that food gone by dinner time. Like, what normally takes her over 24 hours to eat will be completely gone by dinner time, and she will be begging for more at dinner time if you let her. So she does not get refilled at dinner time because she does not need that much food. So in the morning when I get home, she's like acting like she's absolutely beyond famished because, you know, she hasn't had a full dish, and she's like, Mom, I am hungry beyond belief. You are starving me. I must have food right now. Feed me, feed me, feed me. I am famished. And Mylan, when I'm gone like that, does not eat. So her way of showing her upset about me being gone is that she doesn't want to eat her food. And it's always been that way. Whenever I travel, it's like half the battle is getting my pug to eat her food, and then this frustrating part is the silly little dog, if she doesn't eat, will hungry throw up. You know, where they do the stomach bile because she's so hungry that her stomach gets upset. And I'm like, just eat your food. It's literally right in front of your face. Just eat your food. But no, the stinker won't. So she will sit there staring at a food dish full of food, and she will hungry throw up. And I'm like, you are just, you brat. So the cat overeats and the dog undereats. Like if I'm gone for a week, I will weigh the girls before I leave. And it's usually really, it's kind of sad, but hilarious at the same time, that my 22-pound dog and my 6.7-pound cat, the dog will usually lose the same amount of weight in a week that my cat gains when I go on a trip. That's like a week-long trip. Like I'm dead serious. It's that, like that's how much these two do that. Like it's funny. So I get home this morning, and of course, first thing you do, let the girls outside so they can do their business and everything, and then give the girls their food because it's first thing in the morning. Or well, I let Mylan outside. Mochi's not an outside dog or outside cat. She's an inside only cat. So I let Mylan outside so she can go potty, and then I give the girls their food. Mochi is, of course, like starving and famished beyond belief and acting like I've been starving her for days and days and days. Not like she hasn't just had food a few hours before. Like the night before, she had plenty of food. And then, so she eats her food. And then, of course, Mylan is like, I'm hungry, but I'm not going to eat because I'm mad at you because you were gone. So then, of course, you can't walk away because I'm like, Mylan has to eat her food because otherwise she's going to get sick if she doesn't eat breakfast. She can skip dinner and not get sick, but she can't skip breakfast. So she has to eat breakfast. So that means that I have to either sit at the table or sit at the couch until this dog eats her breakfast. Because if I walk away and go in another room, she's not going to eat because she's going to follow me. And then a couple hours later, this dog is going to throw up on me. And I will have a sick dog and a mess that I have to clean up. So I need to sit here, even though I may want to go do something else. I may want to go lay down and nap because I'm exhausted and I haven't gotten much sleep. Where did that drill fall? It fell somewhere. But no, I need to sit here and coerce this dog into eating. And I've already like doctored her food as much as you could possibly doctor this food because she's such a picky little eater. Oh my goodness, is she a picky little eater? The little drama dog. Such a little drama queen. But she's 11 and a half. I can't begrudge her little dramaness. So this little stinker this morning, I was sending my mom like photo updates of this little stinker of a dog because the dog was pouting and she was in like a little pug flop, like a little pug potato, splooting with a front sploot and a back sploot. So the paws all splooted out. And then after like 5 minutes or so, she would get up, take like 2 steps forward, and then she would sploot back down because she started on the other side of the room from her food dish, but staring at the food dish. Then she would get up, take 2 steps, plop down, still staring at the food dish in like the same exact pose. And then a couple minutes later, she'd get up, take another step forward, plop back down in the same exact pose, still staring at the food dish. I don't feel like re-engaging my stuff. And she kept doing this until she kind of got close enough to the food dish, whole time staring at the food dish. This was like a 20 to 30 minute evolution, mind you. Finally, she approaches her food dish and she's like, okay, I'm looking at the food dish. And then she stood up, got a drink of water, sniffed the food dish. She's like, okay, yes, you doctored my food appropriately. You have bribed me properly. Let me think about this. So then she walks over and looks at me. It's this whole process she goes through. Finally decides to eat the food, which I'm like, you stinker, just eat your food. It's literally waiting for you to eat. Come on, just eat your food. She finally eats her food. Meanwhile, the cat has already eaten her food. And then she was laying next to me. I was like trying to get a good picture of her to send to my mom. Every time she looked at me, I was getting the most ridiculous little cat glare. And she's got the most expressive little cat eyes ever. So Mochi's glaring at me. Mylan's avoiding eating. Finally, Mochi deigns to come over and lay next to me instead of like on where she was. But she lays next to me and she'll look at me, but she's still glaring at me as she's looking at me. And I'm like, well, why are you glaring at me? I already fed you. You had your good stuff. Because I don't normally give her canned food on the weekends for Mochi. Because she doesn't eat it every time. So she gets that Monday through Friday. But Saturday and Sunday, she doesn't normally get canned cat food. She only gets that on the weekdays. So I'm like, you got canned food on a Saturday. You should be happy, little one. But no, she was glaring at me, like evil cat eye glaring at me. Oh, that's where that drill went. I'm like, why are you so glary-eyed? And then she proceeded to, that one does go there, okay. And then I'm like, okay, so she deigns to actually climb in my lap. And I'm like, okay, you're sitting on my lap. You should be happy now. And then she would look at me while she's sitting on my lap. She's looking at me with the most ridiculous little cat stank eye ever. And I'm like, you are such a little toot. Why are you so mad? It was just too funny. And it was like, you would think that I was starving the little thing still. But she had already eaten. And I'm like, you ate your food. You should be happy. Like, you literally ate your food already, little one. You should be happy. But, yeah. So that was, like, my greeting. So both of the girls were pouting. Mochi was glary. And it took her so long before she finally, like, gave up the cat glares and deigned to give me a normal little cat face. That did not include, like, little evil cat eyes. Because she is the expert at little evil cat eyes. The expert. It's hilarious. But that was pretty much, like, the little face that I had. I'll have to look at my photos because I did get a good photo of the little evil cat eyes. I may throw up a photo of the little cat eyes for you guys so you can see what they looked like. We'll see if I remember to do that when I'm editing this video. Editing out or like putting on my header and footer and blah, 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 blah for you guys. But anyways, that was pretty much what my week was. I haven't been having too many eventful ones. This next week may be a little bit more eventful. We'll see. We'll see. I will have my flower delivery up for you guys on, I should have that up for you guys again on this next Friday. I'll have a small shop haul for you guys up on Monday. And I'll have an unboxing for you guys on Wednesday. I believe it's going to be an unboxing from Enabler's Outpost. I believe is the one that I have for you on Wednesday. Well, I'll have to double check and see. Oh, I can't forget the window number. Oh, there. And then my WIP and chat for next week will also probably end up going up on Sunday because I have another 24-hour duty. But this time my 24-hour duty is on Saturday. Woohoo! Yay! So I will have to film my WIP and chat on Sunday morning when I get home. And then do my editing and get it like recorded and everything because that's going to be because I probably won't feel up to doing the record it. I've tried recording WIP and chats on Friday night, but that just doesn't work because I do a painting class on Friday nights with my master, one of my two masters. So that won't work well because I would have to film it pretty late on a Friday night, and then I have to be there early Saturday morning to do turnover. So that won't work well. So that means that I will just do the WIP and chat on Sunday instead. So whereas this one I'm filming in the evening and then it'll go up on Sunday, those I will just film early Sunday morning, probably as soon as I get home. And then what did I put? Did I put that away? That's silly. Why did I do that? That I will just film early Sunday morning when I get home, and then upload, edit and upload and do all the things as rapidly as possible. We'll have to see how that goes. And we'll see if YouTube cooperates, because lately, like last week, YouTube was giving me issues when I was trying to upload my WIP and chat same day. So if my next week's WIP and chat doesn't go up in a timely manner on Sunday, it was because YouTube was giving me issues. So if you don't see it until like late Sunday or until Monday, I apologize in advance. But made good progress on it. Look at that. I got all the way down. These ones are a little bit bigger than like the actual canvas area on the Around the Worlds. Seems a little bit bigger than what the national parks were. Now I'm just down to the color of the tulips down in here. And a little bit on the, a little bit on the roof of the windmill. But we're down into there, so not bad for the talking and working. It's always harder when I talk and work. But not bad for that one. And it squares for that. So, anyways, we will call this good for today. So thank you guys for bearing with me. And I will see you guys in the next video. So if you have not already followed me, go ahead and do the follow things below. I always hate saying that in these videos, which is why I kind of sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. I'm like, if you've already, I feel like people should know to do that. So I hate asking people to subscribe to my channel. So I usually don't. But anyways, I will just say, have a great day, everybody. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.